Hold on. This is, the game we'll play. Very quick. I don't know how to pronounce this, and I'm not going to. I'm gonna be real with you. Cateau. Is that how you pronounce it? Cateau. Why do I keep getting notifications that are irrelevant to me? Alright, well, ads start in 5 minutes, so we'll just start this right now and then go to the array screen. What is our name? Let's be Herbert again. Herbert. Herbert. Himbert. Paris is truly a sight to behold. I can't get used to it, even having lived here for most of my life. Hold on. Let me turn this music down. Oh, sorry, I was MIA. I had a coworker come into my office to talk about work stuff. That's okay. We moved on to a different cat game because the last one, while other routes were a bit sillier, we accidentally chose the route that was a bit too real for especially this time in the political climate. So, new kitty game. New kitty game. Yeah. It was just a bit much. We'll come back to it later in life. It's okay, I have so many cat games. I can't get used to it even having lived here for most of my life. Scene parting the city in two, the smell of baked goods in the morning, and the buildings filled with history. I already switched the game. If it's not showing that it's updated, it's because I updated it in OBS. Even so, living here alone could maybe be a bit mundane, but I don't have to. I share an apartment with my old friend Roselle, who studies veterinary medicine of some sort. I don't get to spend much time with her as my job's working the evening shift at a small newspaper. Speaking of which, I ought to let her know that I'll be heading to the office for the night in a bit. I knock on her door, waiting a few seconds before entering. Hey Ro, how are you doing? I'm alright, Herbert. And you? All good. Just wanted to let you know I'll be leaving for work in a few. Nobody wants to talk about school, man. So, what have you been up to? Not much. School? You asked it anyways. Yeah. Worked from home. Okay. I don't want to ask her that. I feel like she might not be happy if I ask her that. Ask if she wants to go somewhere this weekend. You know what? It's really nice outside, and we haven't even gone out for a coffee together. We should totally do this weekend, or do that this weekend when we're both free. Well, it has been a while. You know you want to. Some fresh air will feel nice. Maybe. I might have to study, so no promises. She glances at the clock above the door behind me. Shouldn't you be going soon? You'd wind up late and not too long, right? I'm good on time actually, but it might be time to break it off. You might be right. I'm off then. I'll pass by the baker's too. Is there anything you'd like? No, I'm good. Alright then, see you. I leave her to her own and head for the door. Alright. The ad is coming soon, so I'm gonna go to the BRB screen, and probably use the bathroom. So, I'll be back. I'll turn on my mic for now. I might see if it's possible for me to figure out what was wrong with the first game. Just not running good. I have to imagine it's... Because it's definitely not my computer. In the sense of, like, my computer not being able to handle it, because it definitely can. And it wasn't that much of a graphics settings. There is no graphics settings. That's the thing. That's the first thing I looked at. I was seeing if like maybe like VSync was on or something, but there's just no options. So I'm not sure how to deal with it. I'm gonna like look at reviews for it and see if anybody else had the same issues. It might just be that it's not optimized very well, which would suck. I think it might be a newer game, so maybe that's why. But we're back. I leave her to her own and head for the door. Before leaving, I pat my pockets, realizing that I'm forgetting something. Bro, have you seen my keys? The ones with the cork. Have you looked in the kitchen? I check and find them on the countertop. I always forget to check there. Good thing she still keeps tabs on me, even if things are different now. Oh. Were they, like, together or something? At work, but I need to zoom in to say the new model looks so cute. Thank you, Remy. I hope work is going well. Thanks, bye. We've gone through 3 game changes. It's quite the stream for a model debut. Man, how lucky am I to have a view like this going to work? I think to myself as my feet patter against the rounded stones of the old towpath. In the shade by the wall, I spot a cat looking every bit as scruffy as the water looks serene. Oh, the mermaid. Yeah. I need to get back to it, but hope you have fun. Thank you, Remy. I hope your workday goes easy. You're too late? Too late for what? The first game? If you mean the first game literally just didn't fucking work. It kept jittering forward, and it was frankly migraine-inducing. So we're playing this cat game instead. After also playing another cat game that was just a bit too much. Oh, Rosal would love this if she were here. She always used to chase after cats, patiently gain their trust and befriend them like some kind of cat whisperer. Also, hello Jabba, if I didn't say that already. Whenever successful, which was almost always, she'd memorialize the occasion by having a picture taken, like a big game hunter of old posing with her quarry. I kind of miss that side of her. Maybe a picture of my own would remind her of the good old days? I'm just left as a test. I'm just left a test. I hope it went well. 2 more? Good luck on the rest of your tests. The thought stops me in my tracks, and I study the cat in question. It's just sitting there, gazing over the water as if saying, "Yep, I rule this place." Love the new model, by the way. Thank you. Which, in fairness, it probably did by the looks of things. Looking at the time, I noticed that I have plenty of it. I could at least try to get her a picture. What could possibly go wrong after all? But how should I approach? Sneak up on the cat, let it know you're there, and close in carefully. Personally, I would let it know you're there and close in carefully. Gotta go back to work. Good luck at work, Sudo. Better take it slow here. Slow and steady wins the race, after all. I'm not the sorceress cat whisperer Rosal. I would hate to spook it now from what was clearly even to me a favorite spot of theirs. Not that this cat looks particularly skittish, it has a very well, proud bearing. Hello there, kitty. Hello, kitty. I speak softly while closing the distance. When I'm merely a few meters away, it gives me a casual glance out of the corner of its eye. I get the idea and stop. Satisfied with my response, it resumes watching over the still water. I could easily just take a picture of the cat's back and call it a day, but my professional pride berates me for even considering such a notion. It may not be the cuddliest cat in the world, but I will get a good photo one way or another. I'm definitely not gonna toss a rock. I think that this cat would want me to take my time. The cat seems to rather enjoy the view of the water. Ever so slowly, I walk up to the edge, maintaining respectful distance to the cat and sitting down with my legs crossed. The late summer's evening sun shrouding the city in a pink glow, not even the faintest breeze disrupting the mirror-like surface of the water. I glance at the cat, it's basking in the sun with closed eyes, savoring the warmth. The moment is here. With careful, deliberate movements, I fish my phone out of my pocket and lean in for a picture. The picture perfectly captures the serenity of the scene. Not wishing to disturb the cat any longer, I get up and I walk away. That's a pretty good picture. Their phone is broken. The reply comes through so fast, it feels like I got it before I even sent the message. Also, for anybody who just came in, please ignore the fact that my model is, like, very barely opening its mouth. My webcam did not come in, and I'm using a really fucked up way of doing this right now in order to have it. I already said I'd debut it today, so... We live. That's a gorgeous photo. That cat looks like a stray. How did you manage to get so close? Tell me. I just took my time with it. I took a page from your book. Gotta learn from the best. Haha, the best? Wouldn't go that far, but thanks. No offense, but... I don't need you to learn. I already know. I know how to do this. Did it take long to get to that point? Not really. It didn't seem to mind me being in the vicinity as long as it could keep track of me, and I did nothing hasty. Strays are often kinda chill if you don't bother them. Be careful though, they can be unpredictable. Kinda got that vibe. Yeah, I will be. Almost forgot. Thanks for the picture. I think I'll make that my new home screen on my phone. It is a pretty good picture. Good chat, Ro, but I need to hurry up now. Lost more time than I thought here. Haha. Haha. Go to work. I like how it says choose, and that's my only option. Work went by as usual, and it was over in no time. Dawn is lurking around the corner as I'm heading for the bakery. All the little shops are closed, but the bakers are already at their battle stations, churning out their goods for the breakfast rush and the coming day. Thanks to having friends in high places, also known as the owner, I'm allowed to sneak in through the back door and get my grubby hands on bread early. Oh, thank you, Jabo. I really appreciate it. I still need to make my other cheer badges. I'll get to that. I'll certainly get to it before you get the green one. I have 2 done. Thanks to having friends in high places, I already read this. Roselle said she didn't want any, but I'll get her some just in case she changes her mind. Besides, you can never have too much bread. As I leave the bakery with my precious baked goodness, I notice a cardboard box next to the door, which apparently is the residence of a charmingly fat cat sleeping inside. Clearly it's being cared for to some extent, as the floor is draped with a cozy-looking blanket and somebody's made it a little roof to keep the rain out. Is it a new tenant on the street, or am I selectively blind and it's always been here? I can't recall. Looking around, the nearby area is strangely littered with glass jars too. Inspired by the success of the earlier cat encounter, I decided to add to win further glory by attaining a second triumphant moment, one to make Grizel the cat whisperer proud. I dropped my bag and crouched down next to the sleeping cat, or what I thought was a sleeping cat. Oh, what a polite looking individual. I agree. He's very eepy. Or they. It opens an eye and looks down at me lazily. I feel like this cat is a friendly cat because he has a little house, and he lives behind a bakery, and that I will pet his head. He likes it. Those chubby cheeks appear to be destined for cuddling. Testing the waters, I tentatively reach out with my hand, but meet no resistance. I caress its head, and it peacefully closes its eyes. It looks like a smile, appearing content. A soft purr follows, and an outstretched paw closes and opens gently. I don't know about petting the paw. You don't pet a random cat's paw. Scratch chin. When I unwittingly touch the cat's chin, it presses its head against my hand. Never touch the Pete's. I touch the Pete's, but only with cats that I know. You do not touch a random cat's Pete's. I remove my hand and look at it quizzically. The cat looks back at me with steady eyes, with that oddly satisfied face of a person who knows they'll get what they want. Difference being, this is a cat. Hesitantly, I reach back under the chin, and yet again, it pushes against my hand. Finally catching on to this advanced form of communication, I give it a good scratch, and see the grin-like face of an excessively happy cat. Only touch the piece of a cat that are your babies, and that's only with the acceptance of possible consequences. I like to push my boundaries. Unfortunately for them. I say that, but all of my cats have not minded. Little boy becomes baby mode activated. Once I touch his Pete's, Simba gets more playful when I do it. Although Simba just tries to hold my hand in general with his paws. He like wraps his paws around my hand and forcefully uses my hand to pet him. Murder mitts very fast. Yeah, I'd say if I touched like Sandy's Pete's too much, well, I don't think she would care either. I have very laid-back cats, I guess. Or have had. The rumbling purring could probably be heard all over town, all while the cat bobs along with my movements. After a while, I grow tired of the whole affair and stop. How could you grow tired of this? There's cuddling, then there's spending a whole day standing in the back alley. I would do that, is the thing. It would be very difficult for me to leave. The cat jumps down to stroke its body against my knees, persistently asking for more cuddles. I can feel the tiredness lurking, the mental image of my bed calling me home, but instead, I would appear to have been confiscated by this cat. Every time I make an effort to get going, it gets in the way of my feet, causing me to nearly trip over in order to avoid stepping on the cheeky bugger. While Ro's not here, she could still have a good laugh at my expense if I can nab at that picture. The conundrum remains, however, how to get enough space to do the nabbing of said picture. Obviously a selfie. Why would you ever push the cat away? Rude. So rude. Oh, he didn't care for that. He did not care for that. Maybe I don't need to create distance. That wasn't a winning sound. I fumble with my pocket as I continue petting the cat with the other hand. In the position that I'm sitting, it's difficult to get it out of my pocket, and I struggle for a moment. Finally, I prevail against these insurmountable odds, place the camera in front of us, and snap a bunch of photos, hoping that at least one wouldn't be a blurry mess of a disaster. I got through them quickly, and there is one close-up picture of the cat's face that didn't end up looking like the photo was taken from inside a tumble dryer. It'll have to make do. A few more cuddles later, I managed to extricate myself from the situation and start off in the direction of my home. I like it. I don't think we lost. While perhaps not the best interaction on my part, this picture turned out kind of great. Wow, how did you manage to take this one? After many trials and tribulations, I managed to nab it in the end. That and approximately 42,372 others that turned out rubbish, but that's beside the point. Ha, I bet. Did you get along well? Kind of. Not bad, not great, I don't think. I was thinking of trying to feed it. That could work. Oh, I'll be right back. My phone is ringing, so I'll have to take this call. Hello. I'm back. I have kind of an update about, the operation. She did not schedule me for it. But this week and next week, yeah, no, I agree. I'm like, goddamn. So, oh, let me reset this real quick. So basically, she called me. I've been waiting for the call today for her to get back to me. I'm going to be sedated during it. And the doctor is only going to be there, like, the doctor is just very rarely there that actually does it, I guess. So not only do they have to figure out when she's even going to be there, but they also need me to come in basically at any time to go fill out more paperwork. So I guess I'll be doing that at some point. Again, more appointments, which is frustrating, but this week and next week I will be streaming still. So I guess there's that. I'm not excited to have the operation, although I do need it. And I kind of just want to get it over with. But I will obviously update when I know the actual date of when I will not be streaming. That sounds annoying, I'm so sorry. Yeah, it's just annoying. It's okay. I mostly just hate doing the phone calls and kind of just want it all to stop. As nobody enjoys appointments or constant phone calls with insurance or doctors or everything. But hopefully it chills out. I think my only worry is I also have a regular doctor's appointment in early November that I've been waiting for a few months. And I'm worried that they're going to schedule it to where I just won't be able to go to the appointment. Because I will have had an operation. So hopefully that isn't the case. But we'll continue the game for now. We'll probably finish it today, and then I'll end stream today. That could work. I just don't give it raw fish or something. That can make it sick. Don't worry, I won't. What a day. Keychain rattling in my hand, I unlock the door, shutting it behind me. Dumping the bag on the floor by the wall and trudging on over to the kitchen for a bite to eat before bed. I trundle past Rose's door. Shut, as always. Just a faint blue light leaking through the door frame. She must be on the laptop again. Finally arriving at the counter, I have myself a few pieces of fresh loaf, before dragging myself into the living room and to the TV. Flopping into the couch, I watch whatever happens to be on, lazily munching away. There's a documentary on about life on the African savannah. It'd be just her thing. After a few minutes of deliberation, I get up, going over to Rose's room and gently locking on the door. Hey Ro, you up? Yeah, Herbert, what is it? I forgot our name was Herbert. Let's ask to watch TV. Can I come in? Sure. Why don't you come hang out with me? There's a wildlife special on. There's lions and everything, just like we used to catch. There's a few moments of silence. I'd rather not. I want to be alone. Knowing when to not overstay my welcome, I wish her a good night before gently closing the door and heading back to the couch. Go to sleep. Drinking water, my VTuber will have a meltdown. Hold on. It was actually fine. If I turn my head this way, it acts fine. If I drink the water bottle looking directly at the camera, it freaks out. Never having been one for sitting around, come afternoon I treat myself to a walk. Some might think that walking is a bit of a peculiar treat, but in a city like Paris, it really is. There's always something beautiful to see, something exciting to discover. I've been walking around the city virtually every day for years, and it still never bores me. On the contrary, it helps dislodge writer's block and distract me from other woes. One of the streets and spots I always come back to is this little old street passing by the small park. The trees happen to make for a great spot to just get away from the sun on a hot day, an added bonus. Suddenly I spot an orange fuzz in the periphery, and I instinctively know it's a cat. It's funny, the things that you notice when you're actively looking for them. Well, it's either that or I've been afflicted with cat-engineered nanomachines altering my perception, which in all honesty is a touch unlikely. Or isn't. Rather than a fully grown cat, this one's a mere kitten, playing with the leaves beneath a tree. Playtime is disrupted by, however, when a pedestrian tramples by, startling the little creature. After having taken cover by the tree for a while, it tentatively returns to its game, soon blissfully distracted. I'd love to join in, but I don't want to frighten it again either. I mean, usually I want the cat to know that I am approaching. But slowly. But this doesn't say slowly. It's terrified. We fucked up. Can we go back? What happened? I don't want to scare the kitten. I was right. I should have went with my gut. If it's unaware of my presence, then surely it can't be scared, right? Whenever the kitten's distracted by its play, I approach with soft, quiet steps, gradually making my approach. At a short distance away, the kitten stops, looking directly at me, which would likely indicate that it's now aware of me. I avoid looking directly at it, acting as if I don't know it's there at all. The kitten doesn't resume playing, but it doesn't appear to be terrified or even particularly bothered by me either. I should try to build its trust. Tell it about your day. That is something that I would just do. But I'll play with a stick. Well, it's obviously a rather playful sort. Maybe that'll help me befriend it. The tree beside us has kindly enough dropped twig on the ground that looks like it could double as a cat toy. Picking it up, I give it a try, drawing a figure of 8 in the air. But I've never played with a cat. Sure, it can't be too complicated, but how I should go about it is still a question that needs answering. I would avoid some movements. I feel like large would be too much as a kitten. Personally, my way of playing with a cat is small, fast movements, but I feel like that will freak it out. Okay, we did it. With the kitten being easily scared, I feel like it would be detrimental to be too aggressive. Instead, I start with the stick some ways off, starting slow, carefully adding speed while changing directions. The kitten's eyes are soon set on the tip of the twig and following it curiously. With the kitten's attention, I dare go closer as the stick passes by. It swats after the stick with its paw. Another gentle swoosh of the stick, and the kitten jumps in, chasing the toy to its full extent. It pounces on it and holds it down with its claws. I let it have its victory before carefully jiggling it out of its grip. The kitten's eyes are brimming with light. It is something Roselle must see. I fumble with my free hand as I continue to distract the kitten with the twig. I manage to get a hold of my phone, turn the camera on, and get the picture taken. Instead of taking my leave right away, we play some more, but a group of young, loud youngsters startle it again, and it scurries off. God, do I hate youngsters. I love to meet it again. With not a small sense of pride, I relay the brilliant image to Ro. Clearly, I am not the only one to recognize its quality. This has to be the cutest thing I've seen in ages. I know, never spend as much time with cats or other critters as you have, but it's easy to see the appeal now. They're lovely, aren't they? Such an adorable little kitten with the bell and everything. I wish I had a cat like that. Reminds me of my first one when I was a kid. If that cat was anything like this one, it's easy to understand your obsession. Haha, I'll be home soon. I can see her begin to type, then stop, erase, and type again. This goes on for a little while until the word OK shows up. A bit underwhelming, maybe, but at least I roused her for a little while. Also, I don't know why my model, like goes like that. I'm not doing that with my body. When I get home, I enter Ro's room. I just want to let you know I'll be visiting the bakery lunchtime tomorrow. I need to grab a cake for Rico from work's birthday. If you want to come along, I'm sure the cat will be there. I think I'd rather stay here. They say it's going to be very hot out tomorrow. I love the music. Yeah, it's very nice music. But if you do see it, you know the rule, right? Right. When you see a cat for a second time, you must name it. I remember. I'll head out again and go to work soon. Good luck. When down by the canal, I keep an eye out for the scruffy cat, but I don't run into it again. Work turns out, like usual, pretty uneventful. After some well-deserved sleep, I head out to grab that cake. To be honest, I'm more excited at the chance of seeing that cat again than to celebrate my coworker. Fuck my coworker. I should get the cat something. It looks like one that would appreciate something edible. I take a quick detour to a grocery store and I quickly find myself in the small pet aisle. I have no idea what the cat likes, and the picture of the jars littered around its bed pop into my mind. Maybe they had contained something it liked, but I can't quite remember what label it had. What should I buy? Normal cat treats, olives, or shrimp? I mean, shrimp wouldn't be in a jar. Is there any shrimp that would be in a jar? It would be olives, right? I'm gonna assume it's olives, cause like I would imagine a cat would like shrimp, but we're gonna take a wild guess, I guess. I've never seen a fucking I'm genuinely trying to debate this in my mind. I've never seen a shrimp in a jar. Olives. We did it. It had kind of looked like an olive jar, no? It had been an olive jar, but it feels like a very weird thing to give a cat. It really does. I've never seen anybody give a cat an olive. Is that safe? On the other hand, Ro likes them, and she is approximately half cat, so maybe. I find a jar of sliced green olives. They feel like a suitable size. As a backup, I buy a small package of cat treats as well. Wouldn't hurt my chances. When I reach the bakery, I find the cat resting in its makeshift bed. Good afternoon, kitty. The cat raises its head and lets out a heavy, drawn-out yawn, exposing a line of long teeth. It blinks slowly at me as I reach out with my hand to pet its head. Olives aren't toxic to cats, but they don't contain anything that would benefit them nutritionally either. Okay, well, as long as they're not toxic. It's just a little treat, I guess. Roselle sends her regards. She sent me here with the intention of gifting you a name. Oh, what do we want to name this cat? What a hard choice. I need water. We have to really debate this. Can you see the, like, gears in my brain desperately trying to move? Oh. Let's name him Mulch. Thanks, Jabo. How do you feel about Mulch? I think it suits you. Mulch meows. I'll take that as a vote in favor of my suggestion. But back to the issue at hand. Will Mulch enjoy the olives? After a brief struggle, I get the lid off the jar, the characteristic pop drawing Mulch's attention. Getting one out of the jar, I offer it to the cat. Mulch supremacy, literally. Mulch strokes its cheek against my hand. It flops onto its back, tapping at the olive with its paw. I bring the olive closer and it taps at it again like a food critic inspecting a meal's qualities. Then, with a smooth, slow motion, it takes the olive and eats the whole thing. I never would have believed cats could like these things, but Mulch just ate one. The cat sniffs around, scanning the air for more olives to devour. When it realizes that there's certainly more in this jar of mine, it pulls out every trick in the hustler's cat's handbook. But I have a better idea. If it enjoys these things so much, why not make Mulch work for them? Now, what would I attempt to teach Mulch? Not sit pretty. Either high five or talk. He likes to be touched. He likes to be petted. So, but I feel like high five might be a little too much. I'm gonna go with high five. He likes it. Mulch has already tapped my hand with its paw to get its snack, so I feel like basics are there. I enclose the morsel in my hand and extend it. Mulch sniffs my hand and tries to reach it, but when it can't, it sits down and reaches out its paw. When it touches my hand, I reward the cat with its treat. I repeat the action and Mulch, clearly at least almost as quick thinking as Spherical, catches on to the intricacies of tap my hand, get tasty food. However, whatever's worth doing is worth doing properly. High fives are no exception. I place another between my fingers, leaving my palm empty. Mulch still taps it, gets the prize, before waiting patiently whilst I reload the treats. This time, I try to say high five before extending my hand, then removing the bounty from sight. Mulch pats the hand again, gazing expectantly upon it, only to be surprised when my other hand is rewarding it. We repeat this a number of times, and while I doubt that my voice command as much as the cat most likely just takes the visual cue, I'm very proud of the results. I pet Mulch on the head, infusing my tone with an affectionate lilt as I praise the cat. However, there are other factors to consider, such as Mulch seemingly not lacking food, and that I might end up overfeeding the little fellow. Cuddle couldn't do any harm though. Ooh. I would personally scratch his cheeks because he has very big cheeks. Those puffy cheeks look fit for a good scratching. Using the tip of my finger, I gently scratch its cheek before moving to scratching it just behind the jaw. Mulch clearly approves, a humming purr radiating from a very pleased cat. It angles its head to give me a better access, and scratching continues for a few moments before it turning its head to the other side. Sorry, I read that in like the weirdest way possible. And the process is repeated. Mulch purrs slowly grow more quiet, until it drifts off into a nap, its head resting against my hand. Ever so carefully, I lower its head onto a bundle of the blanket bedding, succeeding in doing so without Mulch waking up. I realized that I had already spent much more time with Mulch than I had intended, and I needed to pick up that cake already. I hesitantly give Mulch a last pat on the head before saying my goodbyes and escaping into the bakery. It's bustling with more activity than usual. When the owner scurries by, I received great news. Business has been going well, and they were moving to a new, bigger place not too far away. I congratulate her, apologize for not having much time to chat before taking my leave, cake in hand. I'm home. Unlike the usual silence, Ro calls for me. Herbert, can you come over for a minute? When had she last been the one to call out to me? That's something I haven't considered being a possibility in a very long time. I walk over to her room. Yes? Roselle plays with her hands as if she's unsure of how to bring up the subject. Thank you for the photos, they were nice. However... Yes? That kitten. Was there anyone with it? No, it was alone, I think. Isn't that strange? For a kitten to be all alone, I mean. I guess, but it had a collar, so it might just live nearby. She doesn't look convinced. You know what? I'll see if I spot it on my walk and make sure. That would be great. Do you want to come and see it? I can see how she considers it. How her brows furrow and her eyes trace the crevices of the floorboards. It might get scared with yet another stranger around. Best you go alone. Scared of frightening it? That's not an excuse I've ever heard from Roselle, the great cat whisperer. Maybe this case is a little more delicate, but it's not like the kitten trusts me either. However, if she doesn't want to, I can't force her. I'll just do my best then. Wish me luck. Good luck. Empowered by her blessing, I head out. Just before leaving, I put the cake in the fridge and make my way to the old pedestrian street again. I'm surprised to see the kitten sitting next to the tree, just like it had the other day. It feels a little strange to find such a young cat out here all alone again. I'd like to have a closer look at its collar, as it might have a number or address on it. The kitten is sitting next to the tree trunk looking at the passerby. It looks healthy, so somebody must be feeding it at least. I really hope that I'm just overthinking it. From our last meeting, I know I should be careful when I approach it. No sudden movements or sounds that will scare it. Having made my approach, I speak to it softly to get its attention. Hey little friend, we need a proper name for you too, don't we? Sora. Sora, what do you think of that? The kitten glances at me with big eyes, which I decide to be an approval. This reminds me that I still have cat treats in my pocket. Maybe Sora will like them. But I'm not the only one with eyes for the kitten. A kid separates from his mother's hand to chase the kitty. Sawa. Soa runs away, but in my direction. I can't let it get away. I feel like following the kitten would scare it more, so I'm going to stop it. Oh no. That didn't happen. Wipe this from your memory. Wipe this from your memory. Ugh. We followed the kitten. That's what we did in the first place. It's probably for the best. Let it run. The kid's caught by his mother, so I don't have to worry about him anymore. I follow the kitten around the corner and find it hiding in a doorway. Its body is pressed into the corner and its eyes watch me carefully. The ordeal has gotten me pretty close. Maybe I have a chance here. Definitely don't close in on it. Wow, timeline reset just like real Sora? No, literally. This is the only cat that I've timeline reset. That's actually really funny. A Sora treat? Yeah, hell yeah. Well, there's no twigs to use for play, and even if there were, I'm not sure that'd be a good idea. Maybe a bite to eat would help the little creature feel at ease? This situation isn't exactly what I'm used to, but I believe in the versatile powers of food. I crouch down and toss the treat carefully so it lands next to the kitten. It snaps its eyes on the new object and sniffs the air. When it's convinced it won't move again, it sneaks up on the treat and eats it. When finished, it sniffs around the ground for more. I throw another one. The projectile makes Sora shy away before quickly returning to eat the food. I throw the treats closer and closer to me so Sora can get within reach. However, Sora becomes aware of that and grows more careful approaching the treats, backing away when it has grabbed it. It's a slow process, but I get the kitten close enough. I feel like I didn't read that correctly. I don't think I would just grab it. You certainly could, but I think it'd build more trust feeding from the hand. I slowly pick out a few treats and place them on my palm. I extend my hand slightly in front of me, making sure the kitten can see them. Sora looks at them, but hesitates, so I throw one of them halfway between us. The kitten crouches down and sneaks up to the treat, carefully watching me. After snacking on the nearest tree, it looks curiously at my hand, stretching its head out. It takes a reluctant step towards me and I have to stay completely still. Movementless, like a statue, a gargoyle on Notre Dame. Or maybe not a gargoyle. They come to life, right? As Sora gets closer, it grows braver and walks up the last step to smell my hand. I feel its whiskers tickle my fingertips, but I stay still as the mountain. Sora takes the first treat, and I can clearly hear it snap as it bites into it. One after another, the treats disappear until my hand is empty. I know Sora won't like it, but I'll have to grab it to check its collar. My hand eases closer and picks the kitten up. I quickly press it against my chest to stabilize it. Sora tenses up as soon as I touch it, but feels slightly calmer after a few seconds on my bosom. There you are, such a good kitty. I try to soothe the kitten and gently strokes it with my thumb. When it is calm, I place it on my lap to check the collar. Sora meows and I find a phone number that I write down on my phone. When that is done, I loosen my grip and stroke the kitten gently to make it forget my manhandling. Then I have to let go and Sora scurries away, but I don't think we are back on square one. I leave some treats on the ground in case it comes back and leave. As soon as I get home, I walk into Rose's room. I got a number. Sora had one on his collar. Oh, and I followed your rule. I named it. I also forgot to mention that I named the bakery cat as well. It's Mulch. What are we waiting for? Call it. I type in the number and let the signals go by. They go on for longer and longer. No answer? Doesn't appear so. I'll have to try again later. Well, keep me updated. I will. I try to call a few more times. Eventually I give up and head for work. It's scruffy time with the scruffy cat. There are slow news days, and then there's dead news days. I need to get something published today or my boss will get on my case. Might as well have a stroll and see if I can at least find something worth writing about. The city, beautifully lit in the dark as I find my way down to the town path, is probably, or the towpath, is probably one of the prettiest spots around here. Another advantage it has going for it is the fact that, for some arcane reason, almost nobody ever goes there, rendering it a quiet place for thoughts to be had. Hang on a moment, what's that sound? My pondering is interrupted by aggressive growling and a tremendous noise near the bridge. My curiosity is getting the better of me, and I silently walk over to check the source of the racket. This is Vanitas in cat form. In the glow of lamp light, there's a group of cats staring at each other, hissing and swallowing their paws. 4 of them seem to be working together against a somewhat larger, rougher-looking one. Could it be the same one as from the other day? It looks like it, and it appears to be in trouble. I don't think it would want me to interrupt the fight. I think that's a neutral response, so that's okay. To interfere is a sure way to get all kinds of debilitating diseases. I hang back and wait for the confrontation to resolve itself. They fly at each other in a blurred frenzy of claws and bites, but a few moments later the upstarts root and flee, leaving a lone cat torn but triumphant. Satisfied that it has indeed won the field, it huffs, weary but proud in posture. I sneak closer, but it doesn't look like the cat needs or wants my help. It sits down, tending to its wounds and giving itself time to rest and recover. This cat can clearly manage on its lonesome. Rizal could certainly learn a thing or two from this fellow. Another certainty is that every great brawler out to have a nickname of some sort to go along with their reputation. Oh man, what name do we give this cat? I don't want to name it something obvious. I want to name it after an object. Like, pocket length. I don't know when my VTuber does that. I'm thinking. What objects are around my room right now? Bowls. Dishwasher. Dishwasher is pretty good. We'll go with dishwasher. Right. Dishwasher. Clearly you run this town. Dishwasher starts walking, and I follow along at a comfortable distance. We follow the canal, and part of the city I'm very familiar with. I glance at the cat, who has some minor cuts and the fur is even more of a mess than usual, but it doesn't seem to bother it at all. What bothers me, though, is the extensive littering for one, and the fact that I have no idea what this cat eats, come to think about it. I would offer it food. Never mind, it hates that. Should we go back? I'm gonna be honest, I accidentally clicked that. We're back regardless if we want to or not. Alright. Speed through the fight. Speed through the fight. Do we want to choose a different answer this time? I'm gonna choose the same answer. Dishwasher. Ugh. I totally chose that the first time. A soda can distracts me from the cat. The canal is beautiful. How can people just go around littering like it's a thing to do? There's even a garbage bin right there. I put the can in my bag to recycle it later, and the other things I find go in the bin. Dishwasher tracks me with its gaze as I clean up the place. It doesn't take long until it looks decent again. Dishwasher stands up and sits down next to a piece of paper I had missed. Oh, thank you. I walk up to the cat and grab the paper without really thinking about it, but we were for a moment so close we nearly touched. That gives me an idea. What's the worst thing that could happen? Sure, it's a grumpy cat, but it's not like a stepping on a landmine, at least. It's not like stepping on a landmine, at least, right? Hmm. I thought I could read this cat before, because I figured it would be hungry, but I'm not sure what to do here. But the ads are about to start again. Unfortunately, that call took up a lot of time, I guess. I actually didn't get to ask all the things that I could. Let's go here while the ads start. We'll continue the game just after ads. But there's a lot of other questions I wanted to ask, but I guess it's kind of good that I didn't, since I'll have to go in anyways, and it's way easier to ask them with my partner there. Anyways, you can see my 5 apples tall Hello Kitty hoodie. Very important to the model. If you didn't hear before, I will be getting a webcam to make it look better. Not look better, the tracking better, rather. So my mouth will actually move more, ideally, and I'm gonna try out using the expressions. I have expressions. I just don't know the hotkeys for them. But there's a button you can do where you can do the expressions with just your face expressions, your normal facial expression tracking. So I'll try that. Hopefully I get the webcam tomorrow. If I don't, we'll just do this again, but it's no big deal. It still works well enough. I'm still, you know, I'm moving around. I guess while the ad break is happening, I can explain my method of madness. While that mouth is not moving at all. But I made this in Vroid. Eventually I would really like to learn Blender for the 10th fucking time, because I've tried to learn it so many times, but my brain just I feel like I feel like I have a good like tool set amongst me where I feel like I can do a lot of things, but fucking 3D modeling is not one, apparently. It does not register in my brain every time that I learn it. But I'm going to give it another shot, because I think a chibi model would be really cute, and it's not something I can make in Vroid. And I will probably start off with like accessories. My character has a collar with a little heart on it that I'll probably be using as my first test model. But really, this doesn't look that bad. Vroid is like really weirdly good. And I only say that because it's free. I have like I have, hold on. We're in ads right now, but it's fine. Actually, no, I don't want to move my model right now. Never mind. But the whole body is like made. But obviously I don't need the whole body, and I would show it, but the textures are kind of not perfect because I did this really quickly. I was just like, all that really needs to look good right now is like the head and neck, and obviously the Hello Kitty hoodie. But yeah, it's a work in progress, I guess. It's pretty good right now. I like this current state it's in. I didn't even plan for this. I was going to like, because I've made PNG, not PNG tubers, 2D VTubers in live 2D before. And that's fun to make too. But I honestly liked this so much that I just ended up using it. I probably would still be using the kitten with the bow in its hair otherwise. But we're back. And I think this game is almost ending. So we'll finish this up. I did not think about my answer to this during that, so... I'm gonna play with the paper crumble. I think it's indifferent to that, which is not bad. Well, I've got the paper. It could make for a decent improvised cat toy. Crumpling it in my hand, I flick it about, trying to entice playfulness from the rather grumpy cat. It is, indeed, rather grumpy, but seemingly somewhat amused by my efforts, batting it with a lazy paw. I'd say that's a win. The interest wanes fairly quickly as Dishwasher stops playing it in any heed. Getting the idea, I put the paper away. While certainly not the smoothest of friendships, I get the feeling that Dishwasher is at least somewhat less indifferent towards me. Dishwasher and I would have had to part ways for now, but I'm looking forward to meeting it again. Once back at work, inspiration hits me. I could always write a little piece about the issue of abandoned cats around the city. After all, I never noticed before, so bringing it to light might result in some good. Returning home in the morning, I met with a surprise. I looked through my pockets for my keys only to find none. I must have dropped them somewhere. With resignation, I knocked steadily on the door. A short while later, Roselle opens it with a surprised look on her face. She looks tired. I'm not sure if I woke her up or not, however, I dropped my keys. Oh, I'll have to go looking for them after I've had some time to sleep. Are you going anywhere? No, not really. With that, we separate into our respective rooms. She looks like she wants to die. That's so real. I go to the bakery during the afternoon, this time around as the bakery won't be open in the weekend due to the move. So this will be the last time I go to this alley. During the walk, I'm sure to keep my eyes peeled in case I dropped my keys here, but I'm fairly sure I didn't. I enter the bakery and I'm almost feeling a little nostalgic as I look around. It won't change my routines that much to go to the new place, but I'm a little bit worried about mulch. I ask the owner about it and she hands me my bread. Will you bring the cat along with you to your new place? The owner gently shakes her head. There's no good place for it to stay at the new bakery and we can't let it inside. Isn't there anyone that can take it home then? We've tried that, but it got really angry and anxious when we tried to carry it away. It really likes it with us, but when push comes to shove, we'll have no choice but to force it to. I'm sure it'll work out somehow. Have you seen a pair of keys, by the way? I've dropped them somewhere. I haven't, but I'm sure to be on the lookout. The owner smiles reassuringly and continues on with her work. I leave the bakery feeling ill at ease. There he is. I walk up to Mulch and I notice that it looks a bit uneasy, but cheers up somewhat when it sees me. The cat must know that something's going on. I should at least try to comfort it some before I go. Pet it gently for a while. Cuddles are the best cure for anxiety. I sit down next to its little bed and reach out my hand to caress its head. Mulch closes its eyes, purring, and we sit like that for a while. We can't leave Mulch without anyone caring for it. It feels weird if the cat being anywhere else but here in the back alley. This is its home. I keep a close eye on the cat. It's looking much happier after some cuddling. Did I say happier correctly? A thought starts to play in my mind. What if I could take Mulch home with me? Mulch seems like a cat that would like most people. Sure, that might be a presumption, but I feel like we have a little bit of a special bond. I've gotten better with cats, I think, and I know Rizal owned cats in the past, so we would be able to care for it. Our apartment is big enough and my income isn't too bad. It could be doable. No, it's entirely doable. Let's try it out. It'll depend if Mulch likes me or the bakery more entirely. Mulch inches closer to my hand and snuggles close to it. I stroke it gently with my free hand. It doesn't specify that the cat treats are olives. What is call bluff? It doesn't explain what that is. I'm gonna spoil it with further cuddles. Let's do it. I roll up my sleeves and crack my knuckles, a quiet joke to myself. The charm blitz is on, and there's no escaping it. I'll make Mulch a happy, not-so-little cat. I begin by scratching behind the cheeks. I run my fingers through the thick fur and give it a scratch from the ears to the chin. I move my hands down to the chest, neck digging into the fluffy chest hair. When I scratch the fur over its shoulders, I notice its front paws, claws, the quilt under it in comfort. The cat rolls over, exposing its tummy, and I give Mulch a proper belly rub. Mulch feels spoiled to bits after that. The cat remains on its back, eyes closed, but then gives me a glance. The look seems to say, "Oh, you finished already? Weren't you supposed to be feeling bad?" Mulch chases after my hand, demanding to receive more pets, even though I've been at it for minutes already. When I don't immediately comply, it looks at me with those puppy eyes. Mulch certainly seems to want to keep me around, but is that enough for it to be willing to follow me home? I like to give the cat a little test to see. I like, just pick it up. Just do it. Walk away and call for it to follow. You know what? I'll give it a try. Would Mulch voluntarily follow me out of this alley if I just called for it? Could hardly hurt to try. I give the cat a last pet on its head and then walk away, not stopping before I reach the next street. If we don't get this cat to follow us, I'm time traveling. Not that far of a distance, really, but it can be for a small cat. I make eye contact with Mulch that eyes me curiously. Without breaking it, I crouch down and reach out with a hand. Come here, Mulch. I click my tongue, and the cat's ears respond, homing in on the sound. I call again, and after some hesitation, it makes its way down from its bed. It trots lazily over to me, swaying with every step. I offer my hand for pets, and before accepting it, Mulch glares at me, resentful of me for making it walk all the way over here. But still, it did it, and I'm very proud of it. I snuggle it properly, and then comes the real test. I place my hands around Mulch's body and pick the cat up. Gosh, it's heavy. I shuffle it around so I have a good hold around it, and the cat strokes its face against mine. Seems like Mulch passed the test, or maybe it was that I did it. I'll have to tell the owner and the bakers that I'll take Mulch with me. I hesitate at the door, but I don't want to drop the cat, so I walk in with it in my arms. The owner will have to excuse me, but it's a special occasion. The owner's eyes open in surprise when she sees us. Well, would you look at that? Seems like our little charmer has been charmed itself. It seems like it doesn't mind coming with me if that is fine with you guys. Of course. We couldn't be happier that it finds a new home. A proper home. And knowing it's you makes it feel even better. Does Rizal know about this? No, I'm just hoping she won't mind. The owner lets out a huge laugh. I can't imagine she ever would. Say hello from me. I will. And I'll keep you all updated on Mulch. That's what I call it, by the way. Mulch? It's a suiting name. Mulch and I bid our farewell to the old bakery in the alley. Let's take Mulch home, guys. It's mulching time. I never found my keys, so they must be down by the canal. First, however, I must break the news to Rizal. I would surprise. It would be fun to see her face when I break the news. I snuggle against Mulch, making sure it feels comfortable during the walk home. I don't get any complaints, even when we have gotten far away from its old home. I walk up the stairs to its new one and take a deep breath before opening the door. I don't have time to type to this woman when I'm holding like a really fat cat. It isn't locked, so Rosella's home. I walked up to Rose's room and knock on her door. Can I come in? Sure. I slip inside and I'm sure my excitement is visible all over my face. Rosella doesn't take notice, however. Her eyes are set on my precious cargo. Mulch? What is that cat doing here? You know, the bakers are moving place, so Mulch is looking for a space to live and we got plenty of space right here. My thoughts exactly. I drop the cat and it looks around the room. It locks eyes with Roselle and it walks up to her and strokes its body against her legs, begging for cuddles. She gives in and crouches down, giving it all the pets at once. I guess I'll have to scurry off and get some things like cat food and such. Get diet food. We have to watch its weight. We'll also need a litter box, cat litter, unscented, some toys, preferably one on a stick and one without, and that's too much for me to remember. Write me a list, will you? I will. I head out, and after a few minutes I get a message of a very long list. I managed to find nearly all the things she had mentioned and drop them off at home before heading straight back out and down to the canal. I've gone for quite long enough without my keys and I have to find them. As I get to the towpath, it's already becoming dark. I'm placing my hopes on that the setting sun will hit the keys just right and make them shine up. I keep my eyes peeled on the ground, making my way back to the workplace along the canal. A hunch makes me look back, and surely I spot Dishwasher following me with silent steps. I wonder for how long it has been doing that. Or why. Possibly to keep an eye on anyone in its turf? The cat keeps stalking me, a slight distance, and I ignore it the best I can. My keys are top priority right now. I walk the entire towpath without spotting them. I guess I'll walk back, check some of the busier areas more carefully. I spot that Dishwasher has stopped following me and is playing with something next to the edge to the canal. Good that it's keeping itself entertained. Search under the bridge. Sorry, Dishwasher, but I need to find my keys, preferably before it becomes completely dark. There are a lot of crevices around the bridge, and I spent quite a lot of time around there the last time, so it's the likeliest place for them to be. A jangle sounds behind. It sounds again, and I turn around to see Dishwasher push down the object into the water. Wait, those were my keys. I don't want to dive for the keys. I feel like that will startle the cat. Stare down into the water in despair. There's no way I can find my keys at the bottom of the canal. I kneel down next to the edge and look down into the blackness. The water is way too dark and deep for me to possibly find my keys. I guess I'll try to get copies for them. Until then, I have to coordinate with Road, get a new lock for my... Something drifts past me and quiets my bustling thoughts. A cork, I determine. What a coincidence. My keychain is a cork. I spurt into motion to grab it before it drifts away any further and pull it out of the water. It's my keys. With them safe in hand, I cast a glance at Dishwasher, who has been ignoring the whole ordeal and is cleaning its paws. You're lucky these didn't sink, you know. I sigh and lean back to catch a quick break. I mean, he seemed to enjoy playing with the keys. But he also seems very laid back. Dishwasher, yeah. I'll hang out with the cat a little. Yes, that was a good move. The sun is still setting and I got no work tomorrow either, so I can safely stay a little longer and spend some time with Dishwasher. I make sure to sit comfortably next to the cat and we both bask in the sun's last moment. I have a feeling that Dishwasher isn't really much for cuddling or playing, but prefers just the company. I find it really sweet that someone like Dishwasher would enjoy my company. How far we have gotten. Not a long time ago, it would have been crazy to be this close to Dishwasher. The cat would probably have killed me. That must mean it trusts me pretty well now. The sun disappears in the horizon, and reluctantly, I make the decision that it's time to leave. I hesitate before reaching out my hand and give Dishwasher a pat on the head before I stand up. See you around. I turn and start to walk away with steady steps. I feel like that was the moment where Dishwasher would follow me. I walk down the very familiar towpath. I wonder how Roselle is doing at home. After a while, I recognize faint footsteps behind me and turn around to see that Dishwasher is still following me. I was correct. I shrug, thinking it'll stop eventually, but as I leave the towpath, it's still following me. You coming with me, huh? Dishwasher responds by following along all the way to my door. This is my stop. Dishwasher has stopped and is looking at me, waiting. Having said goodbye, I open the door, only for Dishwasher to waltz on in like he owns the place. The cat looks around and jumps on the sofa to get a better look at things. Ro, we have a visitor. It takes Roselle a moment to make it to her door. When she steps out, she has Mulch in tow. She freezes as she spots Dishwasher and turns around to shove Mulch back in her room and closes the door. What's going on? Not sure, but it decided to follow me home. Why did you lock away Mulch? We can't just throw two cats who don't know each other together and expect things to go well. There's a process for these things, you know? Can't say I do know. How does it work? You have to gradually introduce them to each other. At first, they'll just have to meet through my door so they have a chance to get used to the other's presence. So Dishwasher can stay? If it wants to. I won't be the one to kick it out. We'll need another bowl though, and Dishwasher should probably have some richer food. I'll get that tomorrow then. I notice how her attention shifts away towards the sofa, and how her eyes slowly sets on Dishwasher. The cat eyes the new human with suspicion, but I know Roselle could get that barrier down in no time. I don't want to disturb her work, so I'll leave her to it. I'll buy the things before my walk tomorrow. It's kitten time. I bought the new things and I'm heading out for my Sunday stroll. By the look of it, this morning Dishwasher and Roselle are getting along well, so I'm not the slightest bit worried over leaving them alone. As I near the pedestrian street, I peel my eyes trying to spot a certain kitten. I'll most likely find it in its usual spot, but I don't trust it not to have moved. I see the tree in the distance, and it grows closer as I walk. There's no kitten to be seen. I reach the corner and circle around the tree, but I can't see Sora. Maybe it actually got home. If that were to be the case, it would be great. A meow crushes my hopes and I look around, still not spotting it. The next meow I can tell comes from above, and I look up. Sora looks down at me from a high-up branch in the tree. What's it doing up there? It doesn't look very safe. I haven't climbed a tree in ages, but I did it some back in the day. Except for the first part, it looks like a pretty easy climb. Climb up using raw power. I look around, finding a wheeled garbage bin around the corner. I'll put it back when I'm done with it, but for now I pull it next to the tree. Careful not to scare the kitten any further, I climb up on the bin. From there, it's not too great of a task to find the footing at the lowest branch. I look up and the kitten stares back at me, meowing meekly and visibly scared. Someone must have startled it up here, and it doesn't know how to get back down. It looks at me, and I'm fairly sure it recognizes me. Climb really slowly. I really can't afford scaring it any further up the tree. Sora's already out on very thin twigs. With all of its claws, it's sticking to the wood, and I don't want it to let go of that grip before I can catch it. Slowly, I move to the next foothold and then pause there until Sora stops watching me. Then I advance to the next spot. It's very slowly going, and my arms feel a bit tired, but eventually I reach the same height that Sora's at. The kitten, however, is just slightly too far away. I might be able to lean out and grab it, or possibly lure it closer. I would coax it with food. I make sure I sit steadily on my branch and then carefully extract the treats from my pocket. If Sora has been up there for a while, it might be hungry. I reach out with a treat and I immediately see how the kitten's nose twitches as it's sniffing the air. You know you want it, come take it. After a moment's hesitation, it eases closer, carefully making its way along the thin branch. I lay my hand flat and the kitten grabs a treat and devours it in seconds. It really is hungry. I feed it more treats, making it come a little closer each time before I grab the kitten with both hands and place it into my lap. I feed it the rest of the treats and it eagerly eats every single one of them. It's hungry and a bit tired, but looks otherwise fine. Now comes the part where I have to get both of us down safely. I reach for my bag. That's probably the best way to carry the kitten as it keeps both of my hands free. Sorry, this will be over in a minute. I grab Sora and put it in the bag before placing it over my back again. After that, I begin my steady descent, and I pull it off smoothly. When I reach the last fork in the tree, I drop down and make freeing Sora my top priority. I open up the bag and bring the kitten up in my arms. After a few seconds of being safe in my arms on the ground, the kitten falls asleep. I look at it curiously and stroke it gently over its back. It's almost surreal. Now I'm faced with what to do next. I've rescued Sora from a tree, but I don't want to let go of the kitten again. I don't want to be uncertain whether or not it has a warm place to sleep and food to eat. I'll take it home with me. We can look for its owner, and if we don't find anyone, Sora will stay with us. This is the cat distribution system at its finest. It's just one more cat. Sure, it'll be a lot of work, but with Rose's expertise, we'll easily manage. I make sure to text her that we're coming this time so she can prepare this place for Sora. The kitten sleeps the entire walk home, only waking up when I unlock the door. Roselle jumps from the sofa when she hears us and sneaks up to us. Where's dishwasher? In your room. She reaches out a hand and tenderly strokes the kitten's cheek. Hello there, sleepyhead. Maybe because it's tired or because of Roselle's magic, the kitten isn't scared by her touch. It was stuck in the tree, so it's pretty tired right now. Oh no. I'm glad it got down safely. How about we fetch Sora some food and water and you can tell me all about it? Sounds good. Will you take it? She nods and I hand her the sleepy kitten. Seconds later, it's hungrily feasting on its food and I sit down next to Ro in the sofa for the first time in a very long time. Sometime later. It has already been, what, almost a year since they all moved in here? So much has happened. The chaos the first weeks when introducing the cats to each other are long over and they are all getting along well. A little too well, actually. We and Ro are outnumbered 2-3 in most matters. Mulch and Dishwasher have really taken upon themselves to teach the youngest everything they know. Sora's not as shy and scared anymore, but I wish they could have held back in some matters as the mischievous, playful little thing never ends bringing trouble. We have a surprisingly calm time together as we wait for Ro to come back in with the mail. The door bursts open, and in a blur of yellow, Ro bursts in, surprising both me and Sora. Mulch and Dishwasher not so much, as the former is still sound asleep, and the latter is seemingly never surprised by anything. Hey, Herbert. Guess who passed their finals? I take an exaggerated thinking pose and reply, I don't know. Maybe no. Then I snap my fingers and turn to her. Oh, I know. You did. Yep. Her face almost as beaming as her dress is yellow. You know, Ro, I'm proud of you. I knew you'd pull through, and look where you are now. No more hiding away in the dark room and letting your life get away from you. It's great to have the old you back. She's quiet for a moment, but it's a good sort of quiet. I couldn't have done it without you, you know? You've helped me more than you think, I'd bet. Anyway, enough of that. I think we've both earned ourselves a treat. Well, you did all the earning, really, but I won't complain. With that, we leave the apartment under the competent supervision of Dishwasher, who would maintain order while we're gone. To some extent, at least. We meander around for a good long while before choosing a cafe to stay at. After that, we continue to walk without any clear destination, like the good old days. Ro and I both stop as we spot a cat in the distance. We share a smile and both approach it together. Maybe it's not just like the old days. So, now that you have graduated, do you still want to go through with it? Of course. The cats helped me find myself again, so I want to give something back. We'll need a bigger place. It might take some time, but I want to create a cat shelter better than any other. We crouch down to not frighten the cat as we close in. What should we call it? How about... Cateau? That's it, right? Oh, that's so loud. It's all of a sudden. Hold on. Holy shit. I lowered it in the game capture, but I'm suffering. Help. Somebody help. Well, anyway. Holy shit, that's so fucking loud. Open the volume mixer. Somebody help me. Ugh. Okay, thank God. Thank God. Yeah, I hope you all enjoyed the game. Love it when the audio randomly goes, fuck you. In a day, a family of 2 become a family of 5. Yeah. Hold on, let me turn it down more. Alright. It's the end of the credits, so it's fine, but... Good God. Ugh. Well, I hope you all enjoyed that game. I've played it before, so I knew that it wouldn't take too long. Let's go to chatting. I'll probably cut this game into its own VOD and cut the other games into its own VOD. And just be like, here's the VOD where I'm trying to figure out what to do because the first game got fucked. Let me close that. But yeah. Tomorrow will be Hello Kitty like usual. Since I am, having to go into the dentist any day, I'm not sure which day I'll do it. If one of the streaming days is changed, I will mention it in Discord, obviously, in the server. But, ideally, it'll all be fine. I'll have Copycat downloaded for Thursday, since that was the original day we're gonna play it anyways. Ideally, I will have a webcam so my model will talk more. Yeah. Hopefully things will just kind of work out. I don't know. Pray. But, I hope the change of game was at least enjoyable. And yeah, I guess that's about it. Let's see if anybody is on. I don't think anybody is. Usually people aren't. Yeah, there's nobody, on right now, so we'll just go for now. Thank you for watching, as per usual. Thank you for subs and bits and whatnot. I really appreciate it. Really appreciate anybody watching or talking or anything. Again, I love you very much. And bye. Bye-bye.